What up, Casanovas? Today, we are going to look at the qualities of an ideal man. All right, we're going to paint a picture for you to know what it is that you're going to be striving towards. It is often said that women are not really attracted to nice guys. But quite often you will hear women say things like, but I just want to date a nice guy. I just want to settle down with a nice guy. You know, nice and funny. Instead, you'll often see them hook up with guys that are assholes or bad boys, you know, whether it's in real life or in the media. So how can we reconcile those two paradigms? The reality is that there are a lot of nice guy qualities that are actually inherently good, that women really like, that people like in other people. Women want a guy who is nice, honest, compassionate, thoughtful, courteous, respectful, can pay her a compliment, you know, who's empathetic.
I mean, yes, we could run away together and fall in love and all that, but
except that you're married.
Except you're married, then at some point, you know, you're gonna get emotional over this whole thing.
What up, Casanovas? Before we continue, I just wanted to let you know that I'm working on an exciting new product that's going to drop in the next month that's going to teach you everything you need to know about approaching women. So, if you want to be the first to get notified and stay in the loop about launch specials, then join the VIP list and sign up in the link in the description below. Alright, now let's get back into it.
This is going to be messy.
Yeah.
So we should just cut it now.
I think it's a good idea.
What they don't want is a guy who is any of those things for the wrong reasons, or too much of any of those things. Because then, again, it slips into the disingenuous territory. Not only that, but people don't necessarily value it as much. It's like, well, if you're always too nice and too agreeable and too, you know, you're always going out of your way to help, then do you even value yourself? Do you value your time? Where are your boundaries? You know, when are you willing to say no and assert yourself? Which then leads us into this whole notion of what is the ideal man. So if I had to just sum it up in two words, I would say it's the alpha nice guy. It's the guy that combines the inherently good qualities of being a nice guy, of being a good human being, with the healthy qualities of being an alpha guy.
What is this mumbling, Australia?
I'm not mumbling. I'm speaking very clear English.
Good.
I'm speaking very
Good.
well.
I expect nothing less. Now, what did you say?
I said, like, it's a joke and I'm not even going to explain it. It was me being hilarious. You missed the hilarity. Must have been really
Was it
funny.
too subtle?
It was too subtle. It was potentially too subtle.
All right.
I apologize.
We'll work on my sense of humor.
What's your name?
A guy who has his shit together, a guy who has a backbone, a guy who can assert himself, who is confident, who can be dominant, who can be decisive, who can have boundaries. It's a guy with a sense of purpose, with a little bit of an edge. It's the kind of guy that won't necessarily devalue himself to please others. He doesn't need other people's approval, right? He's not going to be passive aggressive. He's going to tell you exactly as it is. He's going to be very honest because he believes in having integrity, in speaking the raw truth. Those are the kind of qualities that women are generally attracted to. And a lot of assholes exhibit those kind of qualities, but they do it sometimes for the wrong reasons, because of a lot of insecurities that they have. I mean, we all have insecurities, right? But a lot of these asshole types have these insecurities or these unresolved demons, and so they act them out by being, you know, overly assertive or overly dominant, or just not giving a fuck about people. You know, not necessarily because they have boundaries, but because they're just so troubled in their own way. It's just their way of coping. They don't know any better, and then they lash out, and you know, they're overly possessive, and it's just, women can sometimes get sucked into this whirlwind of emotion and infatuation that's just super toxic. And I'm exaggerating, of course, you know, there are degrees of assholes. Essentially, what we want to do is we want to combine all the good qualities of the attractive, alpha-like man with the qualities of a nice person who cares for others, who's generous, who's thoughtful, compassionate, empathetic. That is the kind of masculine figure that women will absolutely fall in love with, because it is absolutely the best of both worlds and is so, so, so rare.
Or did I even introduce myself?
That's very bad manners.
What is your... Well,
You should say hi.
the door swings both ways, mademoiselle.
I suppose, but you approached me, sir.
All right. I take full responsibility. Comment t'appelles-tu?
Je m'appelle. Yes.
Enchanté, Vadim.
Oh.
And you speak French.
Look, women want to be with a guy who cares for them, who wants what's best for them, who will take care of them, make them feel safe, not take advantage of them, respect them, etc., but also want the guy who's going to put them in their place if they're out of line. If he has shit to do, is going to be too busy for them. Not because it's a fucking tactic, not because it's some kind of a power play, but because he's genuinely too busy. And that goes for a lot of these alpha-like qualities. It's only when they're really coming from a genuine place can you call yourself, an alpha person. Sometimes I'll observe pickup guys, and it's funny because they're trying to be, over assertive or over dominant or, over indifferent. They go out of their way to show you how indifferent they are. And, I went through all those stages as well. It's just amusing. And I guess part of the process, as long as you're conscious of it, and, some guys get lost in that kind of stuff. What I'm saying is that a lot of these guys that are working on themselves can come off as disingenuous in their alpha-like qualities, in the same way that a lot of assholes can exhibit alpha-like qualities for the wrong reasons. I'm obviously generalizing here. Everything is a spectrum. When you go through this journey of self-development, there is this inevitable element of fake it till you make it, until you fall into congruence.
So remember, questions, be cool, and be kind of a dick.
Can I help you?
I don't know. Can you? What do you like?
We have a great section of do-it-yourself.
Do you like to do it yourself?
Sometimes. I mean...
Yes, initially you start to adopt some of these qualities or mimic some of these qualities, whether it's in the body language or it's in being confident, acting out and acting things out in a confident manner. You start to observe people that you admire, whether it's in a movie or a YouTube video, whatever it is, and you try to recreate or mimic their vibe or their behavior, but it's not yet really a part of you. And so you come off as kind of disingenuous. But it's necessary to an extent, because when you behave in this fashion, you start getting these positive feedback loops. So say you approach a girl in this very confident fashion, right? Let's say you're not a very confident guy, but I tell you, hey man, you got to approach her with your body language like this, shoulders back and your chest out. You got to have this like cool facial expression, and you have to say, hey, what's with the dress? And I don't know, let's say she responds in a pretty positive way, like, what do you mean? Ha ha ha, is it not good enough? Let's say that then is a positive reference experience in your eyes. Just that very moment. Your brain has now told itself that if you come up in this way and say it in this way, that is going to be received positively. So that will then reaffirm the very quality that you're trying to cultivate. And so it starts to build on itself.
Hey, how's it going? I want to say your shoes are really cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, they really stand out. I just said come over and say it.
Yeah, I like them.
I know.
As well.
Yeah, I got Vans that I just bought, so I'm just looking into new shoes.
I don't know the word for it. I put this one by my own.
I'm really surprised that she actually talked to me for as long as she
See,
did.
because you're not entitling yourself.
That was, yeah, but that was messing with my head as well. I'm like,
Right. So,
why is she still talking?
And of course, as you work on yourself outside of pickup, outside of this whole arena of success with women, as you're generally just developing yourself, that confidence or any of those alpha-like qualities that you're working on will inevitably seep in to your dynamics. Look, ultimately, if you have some of these alpha qualities and they're coming from the right place, from a healthy, genuine place, maybe you've worked on yourself, maybe it's a combination of nature and nurture, but when they're coming from that healthy place, it's honest and it's fucking attractive. It's fucking attractive because honesty is attractive. And women are terribly, terribly drawn to that. People in general are drawn to those kind of qualities because it's so rare. It's so fucking rare.
I had a little weed at like 5 p.m., but
Weed?
yeah, at like 5.
You got high?
Not high. I mean, I have a pretty high tolerance these days. I was at a pool party. I just smoked a little bit, but it wore off. That's why a beer would be nice.
Bad shit?
Bad shit? It's the best shit. And cheers to drugs.
I don't like
She doesn't do drugs.
I don't.
What is this, young lady? What is that?
So, and what you'll find is when you do develop those qualities and they're coming from a really good place, is that you'll almost inevitably, start to adopt some of these nice guy qualities because you will have become a well-rounded man who has no need to be resentful towards the world or bitter. He's on his path. He's on his purpose. He's acting through his intentions, if you will, right? He's unapologetic. He has healthy boundaries. He can assert himself if necessary and act or pursue things in a confident manner. So when you're working within that framework, you don't need to play any kind of petty power games. You don't, you don't need to be too nice. At that point, if you want to pay a girl a compliment, it's because you really want to pay her a compliment.
What's your name? Proper white name. I like it.
Yeah.
Vadim, nice to meet you.
Vadim?
Yeah.
If you want to take her out for dinner, it's because you have this, sense of abundance. I want to share. I want to give, right? I'm in a good place. I'm secure with myself. I know what I want out of life. I know how to go after it. So why wouldn't I be kind? Why wouldn't I be generous? Why wouldn't I occasionally be agreeable? Why wouldn't I be respectful? Why wouldn't I be thoughtful? And perform certain nice gestures for people. Again, I'm still very respectful of my time. Bottom line is you want to cultivate the qualities of a cool alpha dude who is on his purpose, who knows what he wants out of life, knows how to get it, who values himself and values his time, right? Who still maintains that sexy edge, but he still can perform acts of kindness. He's still a good person. So to summarize, you have to rid yourself of any pathetic, weak, needy behavior, right? Especially dishonest behavior where you're getting into these covert contracts with people and being super passive aggressive or resentful, and start being more honest, right? Start being more assertive about what you want out of life. Slowly start cultivating those qualities of an attractive alpha-like person. Don't lose your kindness. Don't lose your compassion. Don't lose your empathy for people, right? And sometimes the pendulum will swing a little bit too far one way when you're developing yourself. But over time, you will come into congruence. You will have achieved the best of both worlds, and you will have become that ideal man that women go crazy about, that women fall in love with. If you enjoyed the video, show us some love. Hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well so you're notified whenever we put out new videos, and we'll be putting out more of these wisdom insights videos. Leave some comments. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going. If you have any questions or other topics you want me to cover, put them all in there. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you next time.